Hello, welcome to the ninth lecture in the Semantic SEO course. So the thing that you should understand about the macro context and the micro context is that in every web page, you should be able to draw a line to understand where actually you will be focusing on the main topic, the macro context. And when you will actually start to talk about slightly indifferent things. First of all, most of the document has to be about your macro context. That's why this line here between the macro and the micro context is not right exactly. It should be something like that. In a document, you can actually find three different types of content. One is main content, supplementary content, and as. So here we won't talk about the as that much. We will mainly talk about the main content and the supplementary content. When you look at the main content in this area, you will see that the main content will be coming with a macro context from your title tag. Basically, first we design actually a topical map node. Then we actually start to write a title tag. Then from there actually we write a description to design entire document flow. Then from there we actually start to distribute our headings. After a certain point, you will realize that some certain types of headings, they will start to talk about something else. So here, if we write something here, a random topic, let's say the topic here is just the safest cities in Germany. So if this is your macro context in this area, and since we have a plural noun here, this will be a ranked entity list, which means that we will create a listicle as headings, and we will be giving all the safest cities, and there will be different types of tables, comparisons for every subsection. When it comes to the supplementary part, we can't directly talk about this section anymore, but we can directly or slightly talk about something else, and that something else will need to be coming actually from our topical map, which will be coming from our source context. So the supplementary content might actually talk about most crowdest cities in Germany, let's say. Over here we can talk about, let's say, and also not just the most crowded, dense maybe, or highest traffic, or highest, let's say, crime rate, or something else. Usually, in my situation, I use the antonyms. For instance, if you say the safest here, you can tell that the, let's say, dangerous cities in Germany. In this case, still we actually stay in the same entity lines, in the same topic. We just get a different antonym context here in the context of the lexical relations. Inside the lexical relations, if you always use an antonym, you will be actually increasing your overall relevance. But the thing here is that whenever you go this type of a supplementary content, it means that actually you will be creating a kind of internal link. Once you create your internal link, in this part you will be telling that, let's say, the dangerous cities in Germany. And this will be your macro context in this document, and you will need to draw a line from here, and here it will be your supplementary content. And in this part, you can talk about the safest cities in Germany. And in this part, you will create another internal link with a proper anchor text to this area. So, two documents here we have, and the macro context here is safest cities in Germany. And here we have the macro context of the most dangerous cities in Germany. Then, in the supplementary content, which reflects our micro context, we actually talk about slightly different but still relevant thing. In this part, you should understand one more thing, which is index construction. If you don't see that, let's say, if there is no search demand on an enough level, or candidate documents enough level of authority, do not create a new web page most of the time. Because to be able to create a new web page, you will need to see that this specific contextual vector and the domain, it needs to deserve a new index construction. If there is no need for a new web page there, you will need to include it in the same page. And according to your topical map, you will need to go to another web page or another context in this case. But at the same time, in the future lectures, we will talk about the search demand, index construction, and opening new page sections a little bit better, and we will see them. For this lecture, you should understand this specific part from a topical map node. We process the context, add a little bit context, we create our title tag, we write the exception, then we go to the contextual vector in the form of seedings. Then we draw a line as main content, supplementary content, and we create our internal links. So in our actually all of these topical map, all of them actually have at least, of course, one macro context, one main section, and the micro context inside the supplementary content. It is always diverse and it is always changing. So in the next lecture, we will talk about image URLs, image alt tags, then the publication frequency, and from there we will talk about labels, rules, and we will look at the content briefs. Thank you.